Hi you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to another video tutorial on my YouTube channel. I want to share with you my project life process, and it's definitely a process. I'm going to have to spread this out to 3 different videos. The first one being where I begin in Lightroom, and then in Photoshop where I add text or other things onto my photos, and then the third process, which is actually putting it all together in my album, which is, I have to say, my absolute favorite part of it, getting messy. One of my favorite things about Lightroom is that you can make collections. And what is so perfect about collections is you can make smart collections. So you can set up specific parameters for your photos based on the photos that you've picked, the photos that you've rated, or even the capture date of a photo. And then Lightroom will pull all those photos into that specific collection, which I absolutely love. And that's exactly what I did here for Project Life. I have another video that will show you how I set up my Project Life smart collections. So it is super, super easy when I want to, when I have a few minutes and I want to get on Lightroom and I want to go through my photos, all I have to do is click on a week and it will bring up all of the photos that I took for that week. So I'm going to go back to week 31 because that's where I'm at. And if you can see, it's showing, let me just open my thumbnails up just a little bit. You can see that I took this photo on July 26th, and then the last date, I believe, is August 2nd. You can't see it, but it is August 2nd. So that is the week. And I went up ahead, I set these parameters up kind of at the beginning of the year. So I will definitely have a video. I will link to that video and show you how to set up a smart collection. And it's really fantastic. You can use it with so many different ways in Lightroom. So I would encourage you to use this. The thing that's great about collections is it's not actually a folder where your photos are going to, so you're not moving any of your folders anywhere. It's just making virtual copies so that you can find your photos easier within this Lightroom catalog. Let's get started, shall we? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look through my images. And just keep in mind, I have sped up this video footage. I definitely don't work this quickly. I wish that I did. But I don't want you to be bored to tears. I'm going to look through my images. I'm going to pick the images that I like. And I'm going to keep in mind the ones that best represent the week, the photos that I want to remember. I really don't have that many images that I can use. I have 8 4x6s and about 8 3x4s, depending on the photo sleeve that I use. And so I always do end up picking more. I tend to take a lot more pictures than I have room for every week, but I can usually whittle it down to my favorite ones. And so that's why I kind of go really quickly, because I just want to go with my first gut. And so that's what I'm going to do. In order to do that, in order to pick those images, I'm going to highlight the images. So you've probably been watching me do this. I'm going to highlight the image and then I'm going to hit P on my keyboard. And P stands for pick, and it's picking that image. And if you can see, every time that I pick that image, it adds a little white flag to the left-hand upper corner of my image. And that indicates that I have chosen it. And the reason why I do this, it just makes it so much easier in the end. I can filter those images by the ones that I've picked, and then I only see the images that I picked, and it's a lifesaver. It's so fantastic. It's one of the reasons why, another reason why I absolutely love Lightroom. Now that I have the images picked that I want to use, I'm going to go ahead and filter those images so that the only ones I'm seeing are the ones that are picked. And I'm going to go ahead and do that at the bottom, and I'm going to hit filter. If you are not seeing the filter down there at the bottom, go to the right and where it says custom filter and click on it, and it will show you a menu, and just go down until you find flagged, and then it will bring it up. You could also do that for the rating or the colors if they're not showing up and you would like them to. Once I have my photos picked and I have filtered them out, and those are the only ones that I'm viewing, I go ahead and do my edit. And I have some presets that I use, some presets that oh my gosh, I think I got these back in '08 or '09 from Blue Lily or Lily Blue. I can't remember now, it's been so long. But I got some of those way back when, several Lightroom versions ago, and I've just kind of made it my own. And so that's what I primarily use to do my editing. And you guys, really, I do it as simple as possible. When I'm doing edits for other people, when I've had a photo shoot, I definitely take time, and I'm definitely more concerned, especially if someone is paying for those photos. But when I'm doing photos for myself, for my family, it is all about efficiency. And I am as I do it as quickly as possible. I obviously try and take the best image I possibly can at the beginning, but there always is a little bit of fiddling with it. I tend to always add a little bit more exposure. I usually up the contrast some. In this preset that I'm using, there's also a vignette that I use sometimes, and sometimes I take off. It just kind of depends. And then I adjust the image based on what it needs. Do I need to, adjust the shadows or the highlights, bring those down a little bit? So I just kind of mess with it. Sometimes I add a little bit more yellow or take it away, just, but I start with the base. I start with the base with my one preset, and then I go from there and I just adjust accordingly. I really, honestly, well, you're seeing it. I don't do more than that. Once I have the editing finished with those pictures that I filtered through, I start and do another filter. So the first one I did, I was just gathering the images, the ones that I liked the most from the week. And if you can see on the bottom, it says that I picked out 53 images out of 315 pictures from that week. Those are the ones that I really liked the most. So now I do another filter. And remember when I said I've got 8 4x6s and 8 3x4s. Now, some of those may or may not be filler cards depending on how many photos I have that week. So I really need to filter down my images from 43 to about 16. Oftentimes, and I really don't think about the numbers, oftentimes I get my photos down, or I end up picking about somewhere between 20 to 25, and then I have more choices to decide. There have been times where I would take multiple images from one event, and I would put them in a little collage, and I would add that to a 4x6 or something like that. I don't believe I will do that with any of the photos I have for this week, but that is a possibility. And another possibility is to maybe take one of the images and make it bigger, like an 8x10 or something, and added that outside of the page protector. So there's multiple options. So what you saw me do that I quickly ignored is I did another filter, and I put a 5 rating on it, and I just hit the number 5 on the keyboard, which is a shortcut, and it added the rating to it. And then I can go and I can filter down another time. So I've filtered the flagged images, and now I've filtered the 5 images. And then I take all of those, and what you're seeing me doing is I'm exporting those onto my hard drive, or I'm actually putting them onto my Dropbox, so that in my next step, I can open them up in Photoshop, and I can add any text that I choose to add on the image. Sometimes I don't add anything. Sometimes I do add some journaling, just depending on what I want to say or how many spots I have for filler cards. I usually do have a journal card, and you'll see that coming up in video 3 in one of my spots. And I always do have like a week card, but that usually is a photo. So I make those determinations in Photoshop. I just primarily do my filtering and my editing in Lightroom. So there you have it. That was a quick rundown of my project life process in Lightroom. And since I know it was fairly quick, I'm more than happy to do another or multiple video tutorials to show you how to use the Lightroom interface. It's super easy to use and one of my favorites. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and I will see you next time. Bye.